If you've ever wondered why some companies break through mediocrity and achieve lasting greatness, while others plateau at good enough, Good to Great reveals the surprising research-backed decisions and behaviors that make the difference. We'll cover the entire book in just a few minutes. Chapter 1. Good is the enemy of great. Imagine you're on a journey and you come to a fork in the road. One path is well-trodden and familiar. This is where the good resides. The other path is less clear, shrouded in uncertainty, but leading potentially to greatness. Many of us naturally gravitate toward the first path because it feels safe and comfortable. It's familiar. It's good. But what if I told you that settling for good is often the reason we never reach our true potential? In this chapter, we're diving deep into the idea that good is the enemy of great. The truth is, many organizations and even individuals fall into the trap of being satisfied with mediocrity. Yet, when we look closely at companies that have achieved greatness, a remarkable distinction appears between those who settle and those who strive for more. This is not just a happy accident, it's a difference rooted in conscious effort and strategic changes. Through a robust 5-year research study, the author unlocks insights that shine a light on how good companies can transition to greatness. One of the big surprises: greatness doesn't come from a special trait or inherited skill. Instead, it stems from a deliberate choice to push beyond good into greatness. This is empowering because it suggests that anyone, and even those of us who might feel like we're stuck in the good zone, can pave our way to extraordinary outcomes. Let's take a moment to think about what this means in practice. Think about your own life or workplace. Where might you be settling for good instead of aiming for greatness? Are there areas where you've accepted the status quo without questioning whether it could be improved? When we begin to challenge these norms and practices, we open the door to innovation and transformation. Here's a small exercise to get you started. Reflect on a specific area in your life. Perhaps your career, a personal project, or a relationship. Ask yourself, what would it look like if I strove for greatness in this area? Imagine the possibilities. Often, just visualizing what greatness could look like can spark the circumstances needed to make it happen. By conducting the research, the author reveals that the companies that successfully made the leap from good to great had certain traits in common. They didn't just wish for greatness, they worked for it. Each decision and each strategic move was intentional. So next time you're faced with a choice, remember, it's okay to question and disrupt what feels comfortable. It's not just about dreaming big, it's about taking meaningful steps to turn those dreams into reality. Embrace the discomfort of aiming higher. It's in these moments of tension that true growth happens. As we move forward, keep this idea at the forefront of your mind. Greatness is not reserved for the elite. It is within reach for anyone willing to challenge themselves and their organizations. Now, let's carry this inspiration into the next section, where we'll explore further actionable strategies to push past the good and reach for the extraordinary. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Chapter 2. Level 5. Leadership. Imagine walking into a room filled with leaders. Some are loud and charismatic, drawing people in with grand gestures and self-assured speeches. But then you notice someone quietly standing in the corner, and something about them catches your attention. They don't seek the spotlight. In fact, they seem more interested in the success of the team than their own personal recognition. This person exemplifies what it means to be a Level 5 leader. Level 5 leadership is defined by a unique blend of personal humility and intense professional will. These leaders are a study in duality. They are modest yet willful, humble yet fearless. Picture Darwin Smith, the former CEO of Kimberly-Clark. He made tough decisions, like pivoting the entire company away from traditional paper markets to focus on consumer products, all while keeping the spotlight away from himself and focusing on what was best for the company. It wasn't about him. It was about building something great for everyone involved. Now, let's reflect on what sets Level 5 leaders apart from mere effective managers. Typical leaders may achieve success, but Level 5 leaders foster enduring greatness. They channel their ego needs away from personal accolades and focus on the larger goal of doing what's right for their organization. Think about the leaders you admire. How often do they talk about themselves? More frequently, you'll find that great leaders share stories of their teams, of overcoming obstacles together, rather than highlighting their own achievements. A practical takeaway here is to practice humility in your leadership style. How can you do this? Start by giving credit to your team when things go well. Acknowledge the contributions of those around you and celebrate those wins collectively. Not only does this build trust, but it also fosters an environment where everyone feels valued. Then there's resilience. High standards are crucial, but they shouldn't come at the cost of compassion. It's about holding yourself and your organization accountable while also navigating challenges with perseverance. Ask yourself, how can you keep pushing forward even when the going gets tough? This might involve cultivating an atmosphere where setbacks are viewed as learning experiences, keeping morale high, and motivating your team to rise together. Lastly, reflect on your personal motivations. What drives you? Is it ambition for personal recognition, or is it a commitment to serving your organization, your team? Redirecting your focus can create a profound impact not only on your leadership style, but on the overall culture within your organization. By integrating these insights, you won't just elevate your leadership approach. You'll also contribute meaningfully to building a great company. After all, true greatness stems from unwavering dedication to the mission rather than seeking personal glory. This is the essence of Level 5 leadership. As we explore this concept further, envision how you can embody these principles in your leadership journey and watch the transformation unfold, not just within yourself, but within your entire organization. Chapter 3. First who, then what? Think about a time you tried to tackle a big project. Maybe it was at work, or perhaps a community event. Did you find yourself focused on the tasks, what needed to get done, without truly considering who would be involved? Many of us fall into that trap, thinking that if we just focus enough on the what, the rest will somehow fall into place. But here's the kicker. It often doesn't. And that's where the wisdom of first who, then what steps in. This chapter dives into the idea that the right people are the backbone of any successful transformation. It's not just about having a strong vision, it's about assembling a team that can bring that vision to life. Picture this: a bus filled with talented individuals, all buckled in and ready to go, versus one person sitting in the front with a grand map but no one to help navigate. The first scenario is likely to result in a journey where everyone contributes, adapting and adjusting as the terrain changes. The latter? Well, it might end up stuck in traffic, or worse, heading in the wrong direction. Take Wells Fargo, for example. They've illustrated this principle beautifully. When they prioritized putting the right people on their bus, they could adapt to challenges and drive the company forward efficiently. By focusing on who came first, they built a culture of accountability and motivation. A strong team doesn't just follow orders, they collaborate, innovate, and play off each other's strengths. Now let's contrast that with the genius with 1,000 helpers model. We know businesses sometimes idolize a singular visionary leader, believing that one person's brilliance is enough to steer the ship. But often, this leads to dependency on that genius, leaving gaps when it comes to execution and decision-making. While a strong leader is important, when that genius approaches problems without a robust support system, ideas may falter. It becomes unsustainable, as illustrated by companies that enjoyed a brief surge of success without solid team dynamics. So how do we implement this idea in our own lives or organizations? Start with a proactive evaluation of your current team. List out who contributes positively towards the goals and who might actually stall progress. It's uncomfortable but necessary to assess honestly the skill sets and attitudes of those around you. Once you have a clearer picture, embrace flexibility in your objectives. A team that feels secure and supported in their roles is one that can pivot when challenges arise. Think of them as a sports team adapting their strategy mid-game. This adaptability comes from having the right people who trust each other, challenge each other, and are passionate about the organizational goals. Lastly, initiate open discussions. Encourage your team to share diverse perspectives. It's vital. Imagine sitting around a table where everyone feels safe to express their opinions, share ideas, and even voice concerns. Not only does this foster collaboration, but it strengthens commitment to the mission at hand. By prioritizing who is driving your bus, you equip yourself to tackle what lies ahead more effectively. Remember, great vision without great people is just a dream. Let's lay the groundwork for a journey marked by strong connections and adaptability. Your bus might just take you further than you ever imagined, as long as you have the right people along for the ride. Chapter 4. Confront the brutal facts, yet never lose faith. Imagine a ship navigating through stormy seas, its crew facing powerful waves and fierce winds. Instead of pretending everything is fine, the captain gathers the crew to acknowledge the tempest around them, while also reassuring everyone that they have the skills and resolve to make it through to calmer waters. This is the essence of the Stockdale paradox, a powerful concept that champions the balancing act between confronting harsh realities and maintaining a hopeful vision for the future. The Stockdale paradox comes from the story of Admiral Jim Stockdale, who was a prisoner of war in Vietnam for over 7 years. He survived not by ignoring his circumstances, but by acknowledging the brutal truths he faced. He said that the optimists, who believed they would be out by Christmas, ultimately perished, while those who faced the grim reality did survive. The lesson here isn't to wallow in negativity, but rather to engage with the current reality fully while holding on to faith that a positive outcome is still possible. Now let's think about organizations that embrace this paradox. Good to great companies dive deep into tough conversations about their present conditions, no matter how uncomfortable. They understand that denial can be paralyzing. By facing the challenges head-on, they create a foundation for making informed decisions that guide them forward. It's about understanding what is on the table, market shifts, internal misalignments, or cultural issues, while never losing sight of their commitment to long-term success. Take a moment to reflect on your current situation. Are there any uncomfortable truths you're avoiding? It might be tempting to shield yourself or your team from negativity, but that could lead to stagnation or even failure. Instead, encourage an environment where team members feel safe expressing their concerns. This open communication fosters a culture where problems are viewed as challenges to overcome rather than threats to be concealed. To really put this into action, think about setting clear long-term goals while regularly assessing your progress toward them. This dual focus allows your team to meet obstacles with proactive solutions instead of avoidance or complacency. Ask yourself, what are the key indicators of progress? Are there harsh realities that we need to confront to stay on track? By facing these with courage, you empower your organization to make strategic decisions grounded in reality. Remember, the balance of confronting brutal facts and holding on to unwavering faith is not just theory, it's a proven approach that can transform your results. It's about being realistic about where you are while fiercely believing in where you can go. By embracing this paradox, you'll position yourself and your organization to not just navigate through challenges, but to emerge stronger and ready to thrive. Chapter 5. The Hedgehog Concept. Simplicity within the 3 circles. Think for a moment about a hedgehog. It doesn't concern itself with the complexities of the world around it. Instead, it focuses on one simple but effective way to thrive: curling up into a ball for protection. Now, let's apply that idea to business. The hedgehog concept revolves around three critical questions. What are you passionate about? What can you be the best at? And what drives your economic engine? When these three circles overlap, that's where the magic happens. Many companies struggle to identify these intersecting circles. They often fall into the trap of what Jim Collins terms the curse of competence. This means they're good at a lot of things, but haven't pinpointed what they truly excel at. It's easy to get distracted by opportunities that don't align with this core. Instead, greatness comes from simplifying focus, not by spreading oneself too thin across many competencies, but by laser focusing on what sets your organization apart. Take a moment to think about your own organization or project. Are you spreading resources too thinly across various initiatives that don't resonate with your core strengths? Achieving true greatness involves a deep understanding and ruthless prioritization of your core competencies. Let's explore a few businesses that exemplify this hedgehog concept. Companies like Apple and Southwest Airlines didn't become industry leaders by trying to do everything. Apple honed in on creating top-notch consumer electronics that married design with functionality, allowing them to dominate markets. Likewise, Southwest Airlines focused on affordable, no-frills travel, shedding complexities that bogged down other carriers. Their success isn't merely by chance. It's the result of meticulously refining what they stand for and aligning their strategies accordingly. So how can your organization adopt this principle? Start by identifying your core competencies. Bring your team together for brainstorming sessions to tap into everyone's passions and potential areas of excellence. This collective insight can often reveal gold mines of opportunity that aren't currently being utilized. Next, take a step back and simplify your approach. Draft a strategic plan focusing on your hedgehog concept. Make it straightforward. Strip away excess and distractions that don't serve your goals. Clarity is powerful. When you and your team know your focus, you channel your energies more effectively. Remember, the path from good to great requires this ongoing commitment to refinement and clarity. As Collins eloquently puts it, to go from good to great requires transcending the curse of competence. Even if you're good at something, it doesn't mean it's the best use of your resources or energy. Embrace this idea and encourage your team to continually evaluate and realign themselves with what truly drives passion and potential greatness. Take this time to reflect. What overlaps in your own life or organization align with these three elements? Are there areas where you feel competent, but not necessarily passionate or economically viable? Write these down, and you'll start the journey toward a simpler, more focused approach that could elevate your work. Chapter 6. A Culture of Discipline. Imagine walking into a workplace where everyone is aligned, motivated, and taking ownership of their work. A place where individuals are not just following orders, but are actively engaged, driven by a shared commitment to excellence. This is the essence of a culture of discipline. It's not just about rules or controls, but rather about cultivating a mindset across the organization that prioritizes accountability and high performance. When we talk about a culture of discipline, we're referring to a foundational element that separates great companies from the merely good. It's the glue that holds everything together, allowing people to thrive without the need for constant oversight. Picture a sports team where every player knows their role, works in harmony with others, and pushes themselves to improve without a coach needing to micromanage every play. This level of discipline doesn't just happen overnight. It's rooted in the organization's ethos, built on the belief that each individual is responsible for their performance. Take a moment to reflect. Have you ever been part of a team where discipline reigned? Perhaps you noticed all members were trusted to execute their responsibilities effectively, creating an environment of mutual respect and empowerment. This is exactly what happens when discipline becomes a cultural norm. It reduces the friction that often comes from rigid hierarchies and control mechanisms. The quote, "When you have disciplined people, you don't need hierarchy," encapsulates this beautifully. In a disciplined culture, the need to oversee and dictate fades away, allowing creativity and innovation to flourish. But there's a delicate balance here. A culture of discipline must be paired with an entrepreneurial spirit. Think of it like a well-tuned engine, where discipline is the sturdy framework that supports risk-taking and innovation. This doesn't mean reckless decision-making. It means empowering individuals to think creatively while being anchored in the organization's values and goals. When a company fosters this intriguing interplay, it sustains exceptional performance over time. So, what can you do to instill a culture of discipline in your own organization? Start by taking an honest look at the current state of discipline within your teams. Are there standardized practices that promote accountability? This could be anything from setting clear expectations for projects to regularly reviewing outcomes against goals. Creating those structures makes it easier for individuals to know what's expected and how they can contribute. Next, encourage autonomy. This might feel counterintuitive. After all, isn't the purpose of management to oversee? However, granting your team the autonomy to make decisions can lead to remarkable outcomes. When employees feel they have the authority and responsibility for their results, they become more invested in their work. They take ownership like an entrepreneur would, pushing boundaries and striving for excellence. Finally, clarify what success looks like. Establishing metrics that hold individuals accountable creates an environment of continuous improvement. But don't stop there. Celebrate those metrics. Recognizing efforts and progress encourages a culture that thrives on discipline while also paving the way for innovation. Ultimately, a culture of discipline is about setting the stage for greatness. By focusing on disciplined individuals who take ownership and fostering an entrepreneurial mindset, organizations unlock their full potential to achieve remarkable results. Remember, it's not always about the structure. It's about the people within it. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Chapter 7, Technology Accelerators. Think about the role the technology has played in your life and work. Has it been a powerful ally or a frustrating distraction? What we often see is that while technology has immense potential to accelerate certain processes, it's not the magic wand that transforms a company from mediocre to exceptional. It's really more of a turbocharger, amplifying what's already there rather than creating something new out of nothing. This chapter dives into the nuanced relationship between technology and the journey from good to great. Good to great companies approach technology with a healthy dose of caution. They don't rush headlong into the latest trend just because it seems shiny or appealing. Instead, they draw a clear line between what they do best, what Jim Collins refers to as their hedgehog concept, and how technology can serve to amplify those existing strengths. For instance, consider a company that excels in customer service. Instead of adopting every new customer relationship management tool on the market just because it's what everyone else is doing, it would evaluate which solutions truly enhance its strengths. Does the technology streamline communication with clients? Does it provide valuable insights into customer preferences and behaviors? If the answer is yes, then it's time to embrace that technology. But if it detracts from their strong personal relationships or complicates straightforward processes, that's a red flag. Here's a key idea to hold on to. Technology can amplify your transformation efforts, but it can't drive them. Remember the quote, "Technology can accelerate a transformation, but technology cannot cause a transformation." That's a game changer. This means that before you invest in new tools or platforms, you need to ensure they are not just fitting into your strategy, but also enhancing it. This approach drives home the point that technology should serve as a stepping stone, not a crutch. You might be wondering, how can we effectively assess the impact of technology in our own organizations? First, take stock of the technology you're currently using. Ask yourself, does it align with our core competencies? Is it helping us reach our strategic goals, or is it merely taking up space in our toolboxes? By facilitating discussions around technology adoption within your team, you not only encourage informed decision-making, but also cultivate a culture that prioritizes alignment with organizational objectives. And let's not overlook the importance of vigilance. Technology trends evolve quickly, and it's common to feel pressure to keep up. However, it's vital to apply a critical lens when evaluating these trends. Consider whether they serve as enhancements or distractions. Would adopting this new technology bring you closer to your goals or pull you away from the discipline that has been central to your success? So, as you move forward, remember to let your existing strengths guide your technological choices. Be intentional in your adoption of tools, and don't let the allure of the latest and greatest distract you from what truly matters. By aligning your tech strategies with your core competencies, you're setting yourself up for true greatness, where technology acts as a beneficial partner in your journey rather than a seductive detour. Chapter 8. The Flywheel and the Doom Loop. Have you ever tried to get a really heavy door to swing open? At first, it feels like you're pushing against a brick wall. You lean into it, give it all you've got, and nothing. But then, after a few attempts, you finally feel it start to move. That small bit of momentum you've built suddenly transforms into a full swing. This push and pull scenario is a bit like what Jim Collins describes in the flywheel concept. In the journey from good to great, momentum doesn't come from flashy, instant fixes or dramatic shifts in strategy. Instead, it's about the gradual, disciplined effort over time, just like that door. Each push, no matter how small, counts. Collins points out that transformations don't happen in one fell swoop. As he says, no matter how dramatic the end result, the good to great transformations never happened in one fell swoop. It's about pushing the flywheel again and again until it starts to gain speed. So, what does this look like in a practical sense? It often means embedding small, consistent changes into your organization's culture. Instead of chasing the next big initiative, it's crucial to keep investing in what works. Think of it as watering a plant. You wouldn't just dump a bucket of water on it once and expect it to flourish. You've got to nurture it over time, ensuring it has the right resources to thrive. Regularly assessing what feeds into your flywheel and what contributes to a doom loop is essential. Now, what happens when that consistent push turns into impatience? Enter the doom loop. This is a cycle where ineffective actions spiral out of control, often fueled by hasty decisions or the search for quick results. The more you rush, the more you deviate from your path, ultimately leading to inconsistency. It's like trying to sprint up the hill of progress only to stumble back down. If you find yourself caught in this cycle, take a step back. Assess what's causing those missteps and commit to a more measured approach. Building a culture of resilience is key. Encouraging your team to embrace patience allows for sustainable growth. Remind them that success isn't always about making a splash. Sometimes it's about those quiet, steady steps. The process resembled relentlessly pushing a giant heavy flywheel in one direction, Collins observes, highlighting that this relentless effort is where lasting success lives. As you reflect on these concepts, think about your own experiences. How can you apply the flywheel mentality in your work, and what might be causing a doom loop in your efforts? Start to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to learn and adjust. With every push, you're building momentum, and that consistent effort will lead to the results you want to see. In practice, adopt a long-term perspective. Rather than looking for quick wins, focus on sustained actions. Regular reviews of your progress can help you identify what contributes positively to your flywheel and what might be dragging you back. Cultivating patience isn't about complacency, it's about commitment. The most transformative journeys are often the slowest and steadiest. By embracing this mindset, you position yourself and your team for greatness. Remember, it's not the flashy milestones, but the habitual pushes that create the path to lasting success. Chapter 9, From Good to Great to Built to Last. Picture this: a company that not only skyrocketed to success, becoming a household name, but one that also has the kind of resilience and relevance that endures through generations. That's the dream, right? In this final chapter, we explore how firms can transcend that initial leap from good to great, ensuring they evolve into truly iconic organizations. At its core, this chapter connects the dots between the insights from good to great and the foundational principles laid out in Built to Last. It reveals a crucial truth. Achieving greatness isn't just about hitting the bullseye on short-term goals or striking success once in a while. Instead, it's about embedding the right values, nurturing them continuously, and being willing to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of business. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't just plant and walk away. You have to water it, ensure it gets sunlight, and sometimes prune it back. Those core values act as the roots, anchoring the organization, while the branches strive towards the sky. The journey from good to great is the foundation where we build the lasting legacy of a company. It's not enough to bask in the glow of success. Companies that truly want to be enduringly great must integrate the lessons learned from both studies. That's the magic formula. Blend the improvement mindset from good to great while holding firm to those guiding principles from Built to Last. A striking quote pops out. I now see good to great not as a sequel to Built to Last, but as more of a prequel. It encapsulates this entwined relationship beautifully. Think about it. If you don't have a solid foundation, how can you expect your dreams to soar? It starts with understanding that to become an iconic brand, you need to take the wins from your present and lay them on the solid bedrock of your values. Here's where the rubber meets the road. For organizations undergoing growth or change, this is a pivotal moment. Reinforce your core values in every decision you make, ensuring that as you evolve, you remain true to what originally made you great. It's easy to lose sight of your company's essence amid buzzwords and trends. Remember, the heart of your organization is anchored in those fundamental principles. They should resonate through every product you launch, every collaboration you forge, and every challenge you tackle. But don't just stop at maintaining what you have. The goal should be to create lasting value, something that stretches beyond the immediate successes and flurries of activity. Envision what your company's future looks like. What do you aspire to build? What lasting impact do you want to deliver to your customers, employees, and community? Those visions will help you set goals that beautifully bridge the lessons learned from good to great with the eternal principles of Built to Last. So as you move forward, embrace the synergy of these ideas. Greatness isn't a destination, it's an ongoing journey, one that's deeply rooted in your values, but always reaching for innovation and improvement. As you embark on this path, ask yourself, what steps can you take today to ensure your organization is not just great, but also built to last?